global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
The Paris Olympic 2024 has brought so much tears to sport lovers, considering the fact that Nigeria has not won a single medal up till now. The latest is that Toby has failed to qualify for the 200 meters hurdle. But be that as it may, it didn't just stop there. Why we're bringing this news is the fact that Nigeria has been caught in the web of borrowing a bike. Of all things, Nigeria is now borrowing a bike. The thing triggered a lot of reaction. And guess what? This did not come from hearsay. The person who is a participant in the Olympic, one Ugbeseraye, was the man who came out to talk about the fact that he had to borrow bike from a German team, and it has triggered a lot of reaction since yesterday. What kind of borrow is this? We borrow money. Has it come to a point of borrowing bike? Nigerians have been screaming over it, but the Minister of Sport has decided to step into the case to give clarification about it, and that's exactly what we are going to be looking at right now. According to the news, the Nigerian Sport Minister John Owanino has addressed the controversy surrounding the borrowed bicycle used by Nigerian cyclists Ese Ugbeseraye at the Paris Olympic Games. Ugbeseraye, the only African cyclist among 30 competitors, sparked a social media frenzy after thanking the German team for lending her a bicycle due to lack of required equipment. According to him, he said, due to the short notice of me competing at the Keirin and Spring, #TeamNigeria 1 has no bicycle to race with on the track. In the spirit of sportsmanship, the German team came to my rescue by offering me a bicycle. Thank you. That was what Ese Ugbeseraye had to tell Nigerians, and the Minister of Sport needed to speedily come in to save the day because, come on, it was so ugly. And he says, the minister says, my attention has been called to a post on social media by Ese Ugbeseraye. After reading the post and some follow-up comment, I swung into action. Ese's post seems to have been grossly misunderstood, perhaps also because it didn't seem to give proper context to the matters in perspective. The minister clarified that Team Nigeria has initially qualified for a road race in cycling and was fully prepared with the necessary equipment. However, 2 weeks ago, the Union Cyclists International (UCI) relocated additional slots to Nigeria, including the Keirin and individual spring event, which required different equipment. He says for this track race relocated to Team Nigeria, a very special equipment approved specifically for the Olympic track game is used. It would take months to have it delivered after ordering and making payment. To therefore get Ese to compete, the Federation, through Ese's club in Europe and working with a German-owned company, got a track bike for our cycle Ese. The minister emphasized that Ugbeseraye will compete in the individual spring event, which is today, for which she originally qualified. Said tomorrow, which is today, Ese will race in an individual spring, the race she originally qualified for. Meanwhile, despite the heartbreak and unfavorable result in Paris, Nigerian Sport Minister has demanded continued support for the country's athletes, as he insisted they are indeed giving their all to make Nigeria proud. This is getting serious, I must say. He went further to tell Nigerians, our athletes are giving their best and making us proud. The Tigress made the nation proud, and there's no shame in losing to the world #1 ranked team. They struck a high note and made a statement even at the quarterfinal match with 74-88. The first African team ever to get to the quarterfinals. They have moved 4 rounds up on the power ranking table. We are proud of them. Their games have been spectacular. Ese Ugbeseraye was the only African cyclist among the 30 cyclists at the Olympics. Uchenna Ogasi, after 36 years, made the finals of the men's 400-meter race, and Favor Ofili has a good run and has shown great dexterity. With barely 2 days left at the Paris Olympics game, many are still optimistic that the country will make it to the medal table. This is very troubling. At least they should allow Nigeria to rest. I wish they did not even bring it up. At least they would have allowed us to keep mourning that 0-0-0 we are seeing on our table. Country like common Botswana is taking the lead, and I'm just wondering, what is the reason for this gross backwardness with a country as talented as Nigeria with 200 million people? What is going on? That's the big question so many people are asking. We are only hoping that the Paralympic will bring us joy and hope. My colleagues in the house, what's your position on all of this? Because for most Nigerians, this is really disheartening, and this Boroboro thing is not funny again. Nigerians need to get prepaid, whether it's going to take 10 months and all of that. Why not just buy those things and keep? If they are going on anything, buy those things and keep.
It's the boroboro for me. Honestly, it's the boroboro for me. We collect loans. IMF we collect loan. In Europe we collect grant. In World Bank we collect. Chinese loan we collect. How about everywhere? But to the point that we went to Olympics to went and borrow bike. Country Nigeria cannot buy bike. Even if you say, okay, no, they say probably they were not available. Why didn't you? That means we don't even have this equipment. They will buy it and they'll watch and see the budget now. You will hear budget like 14 billion was put. Where is the bike? Well, no matter what we say, I want to appreciate the German team. Thank God in the spirit of sportsmanship, they borrowed, they lent us their bike. So which means if there was no German team around,
the guy for work for leg now. He have been running and following others. Or somebody will carry him on the bike. Somebody will be carrying him on the bike to compete.
Terrible. But that clearly also shows something strong, that the young man must have been practicing, or is it a lady and practicing on his own terms.
Yeah, at Germany. That's what they say.
Yeah, because if not, we ought to have gotten such an equipment in Nigeria. That means all this while our athletes have been on their own training for the name of the country, but training on their own terms. We really need to invest in sport. I'm not talking about audio investment. I'm not talking about an investment that you will give and one person will just sit down and be siphoning
that money.
The rot in Nigeria is too much.
And the EFCC is running around looking for Yahoo boys. Why not go after these guys?
To the point of international boroboro. For sport, that what is bike that we cannot buy bike? As a nation, we have borrowed billions. Is it bike that we cannot buy that somebody will have to go and appreciate Germany? Or if not, maybe who knows? I just hope that this will be a wake-up call. They have told us that the whole world have known that we are going to borrow bike in Paris.
I mean, this is, for me, this is disheartening. Okay, they say that it requires so many months to get. Is the bike being produced in the moon? Because for me, this whole thing for me is stories for the gods. You cannot tell me that Nigeria cannot send their flight down to that place. We make payment and immediately it is given to us. Except it is paid when you make payment, it is specially produced immediately. But considering the fact that Olympic was going to take place, some of those things would have been in place. We need to get beyond just this character of borrowing. In our very eyes, our reputation and respect is dissipating. It is scattering in our very eyes. It seems as if Nigeria does not even have dignity again. It's disturbing, and that's why from now henceforth, I think we should stop this blame game on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Because from all indication, it is not Bola Ahmed Tinubu that is the problem of this thing. These state governors, ministers that have been there, they are the ones causing this thing. And that's why one of the APC stakeholders said something very interesting this morning, or yesterday morning, that the president should stop making use of those his loyalists in Lagos, because Nigeria is not Lagos. Make sure that you carry the entirety of Nigeria along. If you really want to see that kind of growth that will change the narrative for this country, you need to make up your mind to start working with the entirety of Nigeria. Stop surrounding yourself with people who are only there to suck you dry and take a slice of the Nigerian cake, which they have always been wishing to have. Some people have been in government for more than 16 years. Nothing they have done. Somebody was dragging a power bill out the other day. Now, guy, you are just chopping too much. You were in PDP, you chopped for 16 years. Now you have just subscribed to APC, you are still chopping. Haba, are you the only person? Some other person should come in. Would like to leave it. It's quite disturbing and troubling, I must say. But however, let's be hopeful that things will change in the future, and Nigeria will bring, even if it's not anything, even if something smaller as
global happenings today.